Hello students, Industrial Economics. So in today's video we will start our second chapter, that is second unit, Industrial Location. So here first one, location theory. What is the location theory? So here Weber's theory of location of manufacturing industries. So Alfred Weber, a German economist, has developed a theory explaining the location of manufacturing industries. Weber's main interest was to construct a general theory of location which would apply all kind of manufacturing industries. So here mostly the main topic was the idea of manufacturing of getting applied all the location theory, the theory of explaining the location of manufacturing industry. Next, consideration of factors of location. For the factors of location, there are mainly three factors, that is transportation cost, labor cost and raw material cost. The approach followed by the Webers was to explain the industrial location in terms of transport first, then examine the effect of change on labor and raw material. So first, the assumptions of this theory is location of raw material is fixed. Consideration the condition and the size of consuming centers are known. The labor is unlimited in supply and available in fixed rate. The institutional factors like taxation, interest, insurance, etc. are insignificant. Those factors are not important. Then political system and economic cultures are uniform and stable across the location. So political system, these are stable. Then perfect competition. Then effect of transportation cost. The Weber started his analysis with the proposition that manufacturing unit tend to locate at the place where the cost of transportation is minimum. The transportation cost is determined by the weight to be transport and distance to be covered. Then location triangle. A simple example to find the minimum transportation cost. In this example, one situation is assumed that in which there is one consumption centers, two fixed supply centers of main raw material, that is M1 and M2. Then according to the Weber's theory, a least cost point will be located within the triangle, that is CM1 and M2. M1 and that is M1 and M2 called as locational triangle. So this is the triangle. So one is M1, M2 and one point is C. Then we can say that in that the three corner point pulling the P towards themselves as the position of P will depend on the balance of full exercise by them. See here the location of P. So one it is M1, M2 and C. So here now let's X and Y be the required in terms of My and M2, and X, Y and Z will be the weight of finished goods. So and ABC will be the distance between the corner point and the point of location P respectively. The total tons miles of transport per unit out would be AX plus BY is plus CZ. In order to find the position of P, the location of industries, this equation should be minimized. So the effect of transportation on labor cost. The labor also affect the location of industries. If the transportation costs are favorable but labor costs are unfavorable, then the problem of location becomes difficult. So industry may have the tendency to get located at the place where the labor costs are low. To find out where the labor cost will be upper hand in the location of industries or not, labor cost index is equal to labor cost divided by weight of product. If the index value is high, which means that the labor cost exceed the increment in transportation cost, then industry will be located at the place where the labor costs are low. And if the index value is low, in this case the transportation cost may influence the decision and industries cannot be located near labor centers. Then material industries or effect of source of raw material. Weber introduced material index for identifying such nature of industries. That is, material index is equal to weight of localized material divided by weight of finished product. So it is important. Material index, weight of localized material divided by weight of finished product. If this index is greater than 1, the index would be located near to the source of raw material. If the index is less than 1, then the industry will be located near the place of consumption. So 1 greater than 1, that means near the source of raw material. If the index is less than 1, then it will be located near the place of consumption. Effect of agglomerative and deglomerative factors. So agglomerative factors are those which the industrial centralize at the particular place. Example, banking, insurance facilities. Then deglomerative factors are those which make the industries to decentralize. Example, rent of land, labor cost, transport cost. This can be understood by manufacturing industries, that is manufacturing cost divided by total production cost. The manufacturing industry indicate the proportion of manufacturing cost in total of production cost. If this index value is higher, then the industry will tendency to centralize. If it is low, then the tendency of decentralization may be visible. Criticism of Weber's theory. Unrealistic assumption, labor centers, point of consumption centers, not a deductive theory. Then Sergeant Florence inductive analysis. According to this theory, it is inductive in characters on account of every tangible result it yields regarding to the tenets of industrial distribution. Florence analysis has acquired a greater popularity. Sergeant Florence has introduced the two new concepts of theory of location, namely location factors and coefficient of location. Coefficient of location means the degree of geographical concentration of a given industry, judging the extent of industrial activities by the labor unit. The formula of the coefficient of location can be written as follows, that is, C varies from 0 to 1 and C characterized as the dispersal or localized nature in given industries. Then location factor is an index where the degree of concentration of an industry in a given region. If the location factors is unity, so here if the location factor is unity, the industry is evenly distributed over the whole country. Before, the proportion of total industrial workers engaged in the industries in the region would be equal to the proportion of total industrial workers engaged in the small industries in the country as a whole. If the location is coefficient is greater than 1, the region has higher shares of industries compared with the countries as whole. If the less than 1, the region had lower shares than country as the whole. Next, factors affecting that location of industries. First one, it is raw material, where the raw materials are available. Then power resources, then water supply, climate, labor, market, where the market is near. Then transportation, then capital, the government policies, all factors. So these are the factors affecting location of industries. So next one, need for the balanced regional development in India. To minimize backwash effects, the profit motive in capitalist system is incentive and disparative by the free play of market force. So the countries like India should endeavor to minimize the backwash effect through deliberated state intervention. So minimize backwash effect. So then need of fast growth in economy, greater development. The balanced regional development is needed for the economy, because in India, the, rural and urban areas, where the urban areas more industries are there. So there should be need for the balanced regional development in India. The balanced regional development in India is for the economy because the advancement of the entire economy hinges to the development of all region, keeping in the face that there are factors endorsement, factors of production. In the long run, the process of labor economy will be result to the growth realized. To develop the economy smoothly, the smooth development of economy calls for the removal of regional disparity because of the low level of economic development in backward enclaves. So economic smooth to run the economic smoothly. Then to develop a conserve resources. The aim of regional development should be conserve available resources by the sustainable development of agriculture and industry. Sustainable development means it should be utilized and should be remain for the future also. Then to maintain political stability, the disparity of the source of political tension and stability in India, and without the political stability the economic advancement is not possible. To overcome social evil, the balance of region development is needed to removal of social evils like caste basis, corruption, then communal disparities. Only the balance of ensure the allied development can ensure the enlightenment of people. Then how the industrial policy is reformed. The industrial policy 1948, then industrial policy 1956, then 1977, then industrial policy of 1980, 1990, then 1991. So red tapeism in public sectors, progress of private sectors not possible. The progress of private sector was not possible. Then coordination problem between the government and public sectors. These were the uh, drawbacks. Then private sectors pushed up to the backdrop, hammered private entrepreneurs. Private sector took benefit of loopholes. Then state was overburned. Then next, no radical changes in foreign collaboration failed to limit the production of articles, denying for the availability of funds. In next video, we will completely study about how the industrial policy. So this is only the overview. The closure of district industries, then rate of GDP went down in this policy, industrial policy 1990. Deny of availability of fund, infrastructure and industry was affected. Then industrial policy 1991 that it was failed to promote small scale industries. So with this we will end our today's video. Thank you.